Welcome to the first episode of Behind the Scenes. I'm looking forward to sharing time with you and with some of the super talented and amazing people in the gay porn industry. I was ecstatic when these two gentlemen agreed to join me in the premiere show. Individually, they have created quite a following with the fans, multi-talented, witty, and outright funny. One has returned to the porn industry and is taking it by storm. The other is just now starting on what I know will be a highly successful career in porn. These two best friends together are a powerhouse team of success in the making. Please welcome to the show Max Connor and Avatar Akaya. Thank you for joining me, guys.
Hello, hi. I'm Max Connor. I'm Avatar Akaya.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi. Hola.
Hola.
Spanish. I know, it could be Spanish.
And so it begins. Really, I'm glad you guys joined me, especially for the fact that you are going to be the premiere show. I don't know if you two knew that. You are going to be first out of the gate, and we'll be off and running.
I was the first out the closet.
Were you the first out of the closet?
I was the first one. The first gay to walk the earth.
First gay to walk the earth. Wow.
There you go, thank you. I don't know who that is.
Well, so if you were the first, let's just start at the very beginning then, as it is anyhow. So where did you grow up?
Me, I grew up in London, England, Kensington to be precise. If people don't know, that's more southeast London, down in the corner there. My father was an engineer, so we moved from the States. I was born in Trinidad, moved to LA. He got transferred to London, and I pretty much grew up there up until I turned 17, when my mother said, okay, I'm over being cold in England, and moved back to New Orleans, where she's from. And she was like, oh, well, if you come back here, you can finish school early. And I was like, how early? She's like, well, you can start college courses now. So I said, chuck deuces. To the States I go. Chuck deuces. Went to school, finished that in 3 years, finished college in 3 years, which was really cool. So, and now I'm here in America. Yay.
Which is cool, because you had dual citizenship anyway, didn't you? Because your
Yes,
mother...
I do have both dual citizens still. I still have my birthday passport. Will not be giving that up.
I don't blame you. May come in handy one of these days.
I know, so I can go back over there and get free healthcare.
That works too. What about you, Max?
Nice. I am originally from Albany, Georgia. Woo, Albany.
Georgia. That's home of the Bulldogs, isn't it?
Country.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that Albany exists. When I tell people from Albany, they're like, what, Albany, New York? I'm like, no, bitch, Albany, Georgia. It's about 3.5 hours southwest of Atlanta. And no matter how much I tell people I'm from Albany, 2 months later, they were like, yeah, you been home to Atlanta? No, I didn't. Atlanta's not home. Sure, I forgot the question. Where I'm from?
Yeah. I guess how you got to New York, I guess you could say that.
Oh, I got to New York. Okay, so I grew up in a very sheltered lifestyle, and I was ordained to be a minister when I was 14 years old. I was a pastor by the time I was 16. And in high school, probably about I think it was my freshman year. I started the drama class. I forgot what we call it now. Drama. Yeah. So I was doing drama, and I became pretty popular within the community for like winning all the drama awards and all this stuff. And so when it came time for graduation, I wasn't an exceller in the academic arena. And I was trying to decide what am I going to do when I graduate, if I graduate.
Yeah.
And then my drama teacher gave me this pamphlet, and for this acting school. And I was like, oh my God, I can go to acting school. And so I made my parents drive me to Atlanta so I can audition for this school. And when they were holding auditions, it was they were only letting in 200 and something students, and they were auditioning nationwide. And I was one of the 200 that they let in.
Mm-hmm.
The school was AMDA, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. And that's how I got to New York. And then after I graduated, I just decided there was no reason to go back home. So I've been here.
Sucking dick for a living.
I suck no one's penis.
Fucking ass for a living.
Hey!
Well, we hadn't gotten to that part yet, Mr. Overachiever. So what were you like as children?
I was a dick. I was mean. I was a mean child.
Really? Were you the like class clown, the bully, the
Oh,
instigator?
good God. I was well liked by everyone. Well, not only because one, all of my friends and classmates, parents loved my mother because they would always come over there and get food from her because she cooked from New Orleans. So of course she could make anything. You know, they're not used to that, so they're like, "Oh my God, please cook this." So we had a shit ton of people always at the house. So I was popular for that reason. And then of course the dads liked my father because he worked for the DMW, so he gave them discounts on vehicles and stuff like that. So I had to be the good child, period, at all times. Every waking moment, I had to be, you know, my mother instilled in me, regardless of, I didn't have to worry about my, you know, race or color or religion there as much as when I moved here to the States. But she put that in me to pretty much be cautious at all times. Because at the end of the day, first thing, I'm black. Second thing, I'm a man or boy at the time. So I always had to be the straight edge, straight smart kid. So I was pretty much, like I said, a dick to everyone, and everyone would be like, "Oh, we're doing this," and I would be the adult and be like, "Oh, I'm not doing it. Sorry, you know, that's just not what I am." I was very sarcastic, but I was chill. It was just me. It was just me and my parents. So yeah, that was me. I was evil. God, I would kill myself right now if I had to deal with me as a child.
Somehow none of this is surprising me.
No, it's not very surprising. Yeah, I was pretty much a bitch. But, you know, even my mother said, she was like, "You were a bitch as a child." Thank you. You know, I learned from the best. You know, I learned from my parents. Both of them are very sarcastic, very mouthy people. So that's where I got it from. So apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's okay.
That explains a lot.
It does explain a lot. Now you know.
Now I know. The more you know.
The more you learn something every day.
See, I always thought filters were optional. So
Huh?
I always thought filters were optional.
My father's Caribbean and Egyptian, so he just says what the hell he means. And my mother's from New Orleans and Creole, so she doesn't give two shits. So both that and me, I was created to hate.
You're the UN of sarcasm.
To destroy your lives and just to make you feel miserable, you know, and just throw ultimate shame. You know, ultimate shame. Like I do with this one.
What about you, Max? What kind of child were you?
I was a very energetic child. I had ADD. I still think I do.
He does.
I always tell this example, but just for an example, when I was in elementary school, you know, we have nap time. Nap time.
Oh, we didn't have that.
And I remember during one of my nap times, I got this pair of scissors and cut this little white girl's hair out.
I'll put that down as the worst thing that you ever did as a child. Is that a good? Was that a good call?
Her parents were furious that this little black boy cut their little girl's hair off.
I would have beaten your ass.
Mm-mm. I broke this boy's arm on a school bus one time too. Because they
Okay.
used to swear I was The Rock. I used to love wrestling, and he wanted to play wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the arm thing. You take the arm over the rope and go boom. I broke the boy's arm. Basically,
Ouch.
it was trying to take me to court.
I would have took your
I
ass
was
for
calling
too.
all
Clearly, that lets you know, kids, stay in school, go into some curricular activities, do
and
football and stuff like
there
that.
are no kids watching the show. I don't believe.
I don't think there's going to be any kids watching this show.
Well, the young adults, the 18, 19, 20 years, you know, now they still go be in
Well, I
school.
hope they have outgrown breaking arms and legs and cutting ponytails.
He's fucking devil. I thought I was evil, but this was the devil incarnate.
Back to my childhood.
Evil eye.
I've always been like a showman though. Like I was just like, especially during like family functions, I would gather everybody and be like, look, I'm going to do whatever this activity is that I think is entertaining, and you're going to watch it. I'm going to have your undivided attention, and you're going to applaud when I'm done, you know? And then I guess it was quite natural that I became a pastor when I was very young too. So I've been dealing with people for a long time.
He's been doing people.
Mm. So you did kind of like stage productions, or you just got up and sang, or did you get up and do a,
For the family?
yeah?
Oh, it was different because, you know, as a grown boy, you get different interests as one grows. So, you know, one time it would be a magic show, the next time it would be a singing show, and the next time I'll get all the kids in the family to like put on this big production with pillows and blocks and blankets and stuff.
Sounds wonderful. We used to do the same thing. We'd build stages out of sheets, and hairbrushes make great microphones. So they were,
I used to have a bunk bed. I used to like put the sheets and stuff up, and I'll do little like illusion shows. Like I'll tell my friends to come over, I'll put them on the bottom bunk, and I'll put the sheet up, and I'll escape real quick and then pull it down. That was nuts.
what about you, Avatar? Didn't you do anything fun like that?
Oh God, yes. Shit. What did we do? What did I do as a child? Oh, well, let's see. Well, since my mother cooked a lot, shut up. Once my mother cooked a lot, I would always be in the kitchen with her, so I really enjoyed cooking. Both my parents actually, and my father was very into cars, so I became really into cars, and you know, would work on cars with him, which was really fun. You know, father bonding, son nonsense stuff. I guess I really didn't get more to sports until like my teen years. I really got into that. I played football, American football, not soccer. Sorry,
Okay.
if y'all call it. I liked it, but I didn't really care for it. I liked more of a contact sport. I guess I like touching boys. You know, I liked feeling on men at a young age, even though I wasn't gay then. I guess that was my inner woman coming out then. I just liked the contact sport instead of, you know, with hands and touching instead of feet and legs. But yeah, I was very into technology. Like I'm a nerd now. I love, you know, technology, phones, computers, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tinker at things, build computers, build crazy crap, and I did all this stuff too. Played with Ninja Turtles and Barbie dolls and all that kind of crap as well. So, you know, good childhood.
Why did you not play with Ninja Turtles and Barbie dolls?
Because you told me, and I'm shady like that, and I'm going to expose your business. Yes, you played with Ninja Turtles and Barbie dolls.
There's
I
nothing
did.
wrong with
Yeah.
combining turtles and Barbies. None at all.
No, the
I had the Barbie car and the house and everything else.
Did you have the turtle van?
I did. I did.
Okay.
That
Just
van
checking.
was cute. That van had many parts on it.
Oh God, the van.
The van was cool. There.
I remember the van. Wait, the turtle van or the Barbie van?
The turtle van.
Okay, I'm talking about the Barbie van. And when it opened up and there was a house.
Well,
There was no Barbie van that opened up into a
There was the truck. Yeah, it was the tour
Well, it was
bus.
more like a motorhome. It was more like a motorhome, guys.
That's in the motorhome. So
Yes.
yeah, the motorhome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah.
the turtles also had the balloon. Do you remember the balloon?
I don't remember the
Oh, see, that was for the rich and paying design.
Oh, well, okay.
You know,
That's
my
all right.
parents had money, but they made sure they were cheap as shit.
I used to have a bad for a toy. My mom stopped when we go to the store with her. She'd be like, I'm not gonna let you go to the store with me because if I go to the store with you, I'm gonna forget what I went in there for.
My go-to was always buying Matchbox cars. And of course, they always had them stacked by the checkout stand, so I'd always throw 2 in the cart for my oldest, just because it saved a whole lot of headache knowing that he was going to get a Matchbox car on the way out the store. So cheap entertainment, quick and easy.
Do it.
That's exactly how to do it.
I know. Now everything is on iPad and iPhone. So what the hell? The new thing now is, oh, can you buy me a game?
Yeah. Can you buy me a $70 game that I'll only play for 2 months till I beat it?
You know this little person there, the map that you would lay down on the
Lay the
floor,
mat
and you
down.
can drive the cars on the streets and stuff. Swear to be going places.
Well, see, that's why I got into architecture, because my father bought me the Connect set. My mother didn't want to do Legos. My mother tried to be an overachiever because my dad was like, oh, let's get him some Legos. And then turn around and she's like, oh no, there's this new thing, Connects. And it had all the different things you can actually make a building. And I would come up there and make cities, and my mother would be like, how the hell did you do this in less than an hour? I don't know. So that's how I got into architecture. That is so crazy. But I thought about that.
Oh, you got into architecture.
Yes, I have a degree in
From
architecture.
Connects.
You have a degree in architecture
Yes.
and psychology.
A minor in psychology.
And mine is psychology.
Yes.
Yes.
That's an interesting combination.
So my mother was into counseling and was a social worker, so that's what always made me interested in that. And I always liked to draw, and I wanted to be an artist, but my mother was like, no, you should be an architect, they make more money. So, and then when I finished school for it, and I got out, I'm like, okay, I'm about to start the program to get my license to be in architecture. And that shit said no, because that shit costs so much more money. They changed the whole curriculum of getting your license, and I was like, there's no way in hell I just couldn't do it at the time. It just was not financially
Feasible.
in the stars for me to do it at that time. Still not, because now I don't even want to do it, because all my credits are shit now, so I probably have to go back to school and learn everything all over again.
So let's transition. You guys are now out of school. You've moved forward in your life, and you're living in New York, I assume. And I know that you had a very successful, or have a very successful career in television, and have done movies too. Have you not? Have you been in a couple movies, Max?
Yes, but it's I did this movie with I can't even think right now. Jill Scott and Azalea Banks, and what's the Asian girl's name from the acapella movie?
Oh,
The Asian girl.
yeah.
The one that wouldn't speak. She was in it too. To this day, I still don't know the name of it because it was an untitled movie when I did it. I've been looking out for it for years, and I finally saw it buried deep down in some streaming service. But yeah, that's my one movie.
And you, Avatar, were a steward on an airline, weren't you? Didn't you tell me that?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I loved it. I miss it. You know, I would serve you drinks at 30,000 feet. You know, giving you Britney Spears' toxic uniform realness, walking down that car, asking for, you know, a Coke or Sprite.
Yeah.
I did love that. Still do. Looking to get possibly back into that. You learn a lot about people. Actually, you really find out who's really knows you and who doesn't, because you'll be surprised how many people are on Grindr at 30,000 people.
I bet you do.
Like, I swear to God, like I was walking from the back to the front one time, and I swore I thought you just see something in the corner of your eye, and I was like, that looked like an ass picture, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not. It might have been him just scrolling through Instagram. I'm like, I'm not gonna assume. And then right as I was doing my work, walking back up, all I saw was blue and orange letters. I said, that bitch is on Grindr at 34,000 feet. Seriously, what penis are you trying to suck up here?
Maybe he's just getting ready to set something up for on the other side of the flight.
He probably was. He was cute there. I was trying to, he was giving the eyes, and I was.
You were
saw
given.
asses, so it's probably a top. You don't give him something nothing. You get some tutu.
He can get.
Tutu.
No, honey, he can get a glass of wine. That's what the hell he can get on his dick. But we're not going to talk about that. That was cute. It would have been cute for him to try.
So,
But
what got you guys into porn? What was the thing that drove you? I didn't want to say drive. What was the drive? What was the thing that got you into porn?
In the fall of 2017, I had this epiphany where I, just
you don't know that's what we
accept. I assessed.
I knew that was coming.
And I decided. Where did it go? I was assessing where I was at in my life, and I decided that, while I kind of was doing what I came to New York to do finally, I wasn't sure if my love for my craft exceeded the sacrifice in the world. And I decided that I was going to take a break from it and do something that I thought would be more financially beneficial to me. And here we are.
Okay.
It all happened faster than I thought it was going to happen. And I got a little bit more well known than what I expected.
What surprised you about that?
Just because I've been here before, a lot younger and a lot more naive. But I did do porn like 10 or 11 years ago for like a year or so. I just didn't expect for me, African American, a short man, to what do you call that? To do what I've done.
Do as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you're here.
But people
you are
like
here.
me.
We like you. We actually like you. Why do you guys like
I'm a good person. See, I'm trying to give them perfect.
Well, let me interject that. And I had a question about that, and I want to ask you about that. I might as well interject that here. As a black man in the industry, do you find that you're being typecasted? Have you had problems in that area? Are you seeing a change from the first time to this time in how you're being approached for scenes? Do you think that you're still fighting a fight here, a big one, a small one? What's your take on that part?
I think that we are fighting a fight. I think we are making strides. We're slowly. There are a few brave black minds who have decided to show the industry what we are capable of. We receive a lot of flack from the black community for it. Like I myself I've gained with this nickname from black people, extreme black people in the community. They call me Max Cooner, or they call me a coon. They think that I have self-hate. I don't like my own kind, simply because I don't shoot exclusively with black models. And at the same time, I'm over here saying I'm doing stuff that a lot of you have not been able to do up until this point. And instead of trying to bring me down, you should try to figure out what I'm doing so that you can do the same and show. I want it to be to the point where there's this little black boy sitting in his 11th grade class in high school saying, I want to fuck for a living for the rest of my life. He should be able to do that proudly, you know? And knowing that he's going to be successful, knowing that he's going to work. So now, like, I don't accept job offers where I think it has, like, a play on the color of my skin. I mean, we're definitely still the fetishized BBC, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I think things are slowly changing. Not fast, but slowly.
Well,
mean,
I personally think that
I
you.
call out studios by name, but you know, I was just looking at a studio today when I was looking through Twitter, and they just got another new model, and they have two models who are not white, and they are used so little that you would never know they exist.
You forgot that?
You forget that they're there. And there's no reason for it.
No.
You look at the studio and you say, okay, let me be reasonable. Let me try to sit down and figure out why they might not be hiring any other race of model. And you can't think of one. It just comes down to the fact that, I wouldn't call them a racist, but you're definitely a bigot. A lot of people use that term to use the racist.
Yeah, they're really
There's a big difference between
There's
racist and
a
bigot.
huge difference. Huge difference.
Yeah, well, to piggyback on that, as what you mentioned before, talking about being typecast, I see that as, like, prime example is when I started, I really just did it as fun. I just did amateur videos, homemade videos with people, and that's usually what I did. I stuck to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, people told me 1,000 times, oh, you should definitely get into it. You definitely get into it. You should definitely go do a studio. And then I'm like, yes, but I did not see myself, my personality and who I was as a person represented in the studio world as of now. I see more, Max being a little bit more clean cut, not trying to say he's going to do anything like grungy or gritty or something like that. But, usually when you think or the masses see a black man in doing porn, first thing they automatically come to is thug or big muscle, like, what they call that, like hardcore talk, like he just gonna bang you out. It's a fantasy. The whole porn community, gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans, are all fantasy. That's what this whole industry is about, is showing a fantasy come to life. Just like a comic book is going to theaters, from pages to the big screen. It's the same exact thing.
Right.
And the thing about it is, though, typecasting, you don't see, anyone say, oh, well, you bring, let's say, a white man into a thing and he has to be automatically rich, or automatically he has to be the billionaire or whatever, just like you would do in a movie. Same thing, for black people or an Asian, or Asian person, you don't see the little Asian girl cleaning the house, or the little Spanish girl, doing whatever. It's, I, as a black, gay, British man, this is really, it really affects me. It really, really, really affects me. And like he was saying earlier with the black community, it's bad enough being gay, and the gay community already gangs up on each other. And then the minute you do porn, they're like, oh, you're a separate entity from even being gay. You're like, oh, you're gay and you do porn? Oh my God, like, who are you? And then you put on top of that, oh, you're gay, you're black and you do porn, you automatically script it as, okay, you're gonna have a big dick, you need to fuck me down, or you're gonna be some thug and rob my house blind. It's gonna be that fantasy, and I don't like that whatsoever. And from our own community of black, people or black gays to even come off and say, oh, all you do is mess with all of your videos or with predominantly white
which
people.
is so not true. Like, here are the receipts right there. If you care what they,
But it's not even about being receipts, although I should even feel that it is none of your business or your thing when you're watching my personal videos, or even if I do studios and they put me with a white person, regardless of this is what I'm saying though. If I find somebody who is attractive, I've never seen color. It could be a fucking blue avatar walking through here. If that bitch is fine, I'm fucking plain and simple. That it means there is no. I have nothing with color, and I keep trying to explain to these people sometimes on Twitter, and then I have to just figure out I have to stop because you can't please everyone. You can't make everyone understand you. But the best thing you could do is just be like, okay, and move forward because you are not helping me pay my bills. You are not helping me fuck. So why am I even sitting here entertaining your foolishness? If there's someone who is black, who wants to film, who is down to do, what's going to make my videos and, outstanding and make my fans and everyone else feel pleasure, because this is art. This is what it is. Like, if I draw a shitty ass painting, I'm not putting it out there. If I don't feel my heart is in it, I'm not going to just put it out there. That's bad. Me as a performer, that's awful. That's being sluggish. That's being lazy. Mm-hmm. So if I feel that this video is not going to satisfy some of my fans, why the hell would I put that out there? So if they're black and they're like, oh, sure, I'll do it, but we do the video and it's shit, I'm not putting it out. But if I do it with another guy and his skin color happens to be lighter than mine, hell, everyone's going to be lighter than me. Unless I'm fucking Kuta Kente from somebody from Jamaica. Everyone's going to be lighter than me. Sorry. Plain and simple. So I'm not. There is no winning for losing. Talk about someone black or whatever. At the studios, I get what Max saying. They need to do a little bit of black on black. Filming that I can attest to, and I believe it.
No, I didn't say there was no black on black.
I didn't say you said. I just said that. Well, I'm saying it. God damn it, they need to have some more. I think that's key. Need to have a little bit more diversity in the selection process when it comes to filming. Sometimes, to me, the storyline is not who's going to give the best ratings, but you don't know who's going to be good when it comes to chemistry on film unless you try something. Speak with both models, see what they are, see how they are going to react to each other. It takes 5 minutes to do it.
The bottom line is there are studios out there
Mm-hmm.
who will not hire black models.
Yep.
I was working with a model who shall remain nameless at Norwell, and he was telling me about a few of the companies that he's worked with, and he would prefer to work with black models. And some of the studios actually told him, "Sorry, we don't hire black models."
Nobody said this road was going to be easy, but if I know you two, you will make headway here and you will make a difference. That much I do know about you two.
So thank you.
You're welcome. It's the truth. So, how did you guys come up with your porn names?
I came up with my name outside on the terrace within like 3 minutes.
Okay.
I got hired for my first studio gig, and I was like, "What's your name?" I was like, "Oh," because before I started studio porn, my name was XL Top, but I wanted to have a real name, so I just came up with Max because I like the name, and then Connor is this character that I used to do a lot, which is pretty much the embodiment of every white twink I had ever met. And his name was Connor, CONNORRRR. And so I just turned the C into a K, and you had Max Connor.
Very common.
3 minutes
But
to process.
it fits him. It fits him.
It fits him. You know, he's basic, but it fits him dearly.
All right, Miss our Avatar, let's hear your story.
Award-winning penis.
Oh, best friend's penis. Thank you. Kids, don't come in. You can have that award-winning penis. Guess what? I'm still premature. Thank you. Anyway, no, mine was very simple. My middle name is Akea. Everyone pronounces IKEA. I don't know where you see IKEA at in my name. I don't know what these kids get that from. It's an American thing. Americans always, you know, do the name completely wrong. But all pronunciation.
The meatballs are delicious. I'm just putting it out there.
So we're going to go to IKEA and try these damn. I never tried these fucking meatballs.
I have never had the meatballs either. So
when you come, we need to go. We're going to go to IKEA and get these damn meatballs, and we're going to bring some. We'll get a tray.
okay, we're gonna do meatballs together. That sounds like a very interesting date.
Okay. But no. So my middle name is actually Akea. That is my authentic government name. So, and my tattoos, a lot of people don't know, represent the 4 elements, which is the 4 natures, which is fire, water, earth, and air. And a lot of people don't know they had a cartoon show where it was called Avatar, The Last Airbender. But I actually chose the name Avatar first because that's actually what my tattoos represent. Before that, so that's where the first name Avatar came from. But everyone, when I say Avatar: The Last Airbender, they're like, oh, yeah. So it's a good.
So they think it's from the movie. Instead, you'd actually come up with it before the movie came out.
Yeah, I had my tattoos way before the movies even came out because the fire is supposed to represent warrior, the water represents wisdom, the front, which is air, which is to embrace, and the one on my back is earth, which is to endure, which is the 4 elementals, which was embedded by one person, a mystic who used to live in Egypt with my father's Egyptian, and that they considered him as the avatar of the elements. So that's where that came from.
Nice. Thanks for explaining that. It's very cool.
My tattoos have meaning.
Well, they usually do, my understanding. Some people get them for meaning. Some people get them just because they're cool looking. But yes, most people have tattoos that have a meaning behind them. So now that you guys are heavily involved in your porn life and everything, what do your friends and family think about it? You being in porn.
You know what I keep trying to circle.
You call yourself a supreme. Could you ask a question first?
Oh, sure. I'm just saying, you know, an English gentleman.
I got my crop top on, looking all goody, delicious, I'm sure.
Yes.
You look fancy. Stand up a bit. Show them how studly you are real quick.
Well, he's got it blazing all over his chest.
I'm still getting used to the whole crop top idea, but apparently people tell me that I can't look feminine no matter what I have on, so I'm trying to
you really can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have friends like that to be worrying about. I stopped worrying about what other people think. I'm pretty sure they pretty much seen it. I don't give 2 shits. Only because if I'm sitting there, which most people do, worrying about what other people think and what other people assume, affects my decision making, affects what I do in my life. And I just realize I have to come to terms if it's not hurting anyone, if it's not, you know, if it's not making me money, or if it's not, you know, threatening my health, why the fuck do I care what the hell you think? So I normally don't really have friends except that one, and you know, a few other people who are actually in the porn world because they accept me for me, because this is a part of who I am. I am not just Avatar Akea. I am also Michael. You will not get my last name, but you will get my first. And that is more to me than just porn, you know. So people know if they find out I'm like, yeah, I do it. I get flagged for it all the time. They're like, why, oh my God, why would you do that? Okay, why the fuck would you go get a Mercedes? You know, why would you go to Taco Bell? Ew, why would you eat McDonald's? You know, we all make life choices. Choices.
Okay, makes sense.
How do you think?
The only people in my family that knows is my sister and one of my cousins. They're both just like, whatever. As far as friends go, everybody loves it. All my friends always come to me and say, oh my God, I was watching porn with this guy the other night, and your porn came on, and they were like, oh my God, I love that Max Connor. And I was like, oh, he's my friend. And they're like, oh, can you get me the D?
I couldn't tell you. They find out I'm friends with this one. Oh my God, maybe I should come over.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a number.
Right?
Right?
He's mine. You know, I had him once, but I had him all the time.
All the time. Let me
So,
stop.
what do you guys think is the biggest misconception people have about the porn industry and the actors?
I'm going to answer this one first because actually I just also forgot about it. That they automatically assume porn is also escorting. They automatically assume when someone decides to become some type of porn anything, model, just taking pictures, porn, amateur porn, doing homemade videos, or doing studio porn, that is automatically affiliated with escorting, period. When these young guys come out, they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do it. Or some people are like, oh, if I lose my job, I could just do porn. Like it's easy, like it's nothing. Like, oh, all I'm doing is fucking. Or all I'm doing is just sitting there on my back with my legs in the air. No. Or they're like, oh, well, I have to go sleep with old men for money. Porn and escorting are two totally different things, two totally separate entities,
Mm-hmm.
and should not be confused or should not be deemed as together. That is the most misconstrued thing that I've seen from people asking, well, how do you get into the business? How do you start? And not physically doing the proper research. Also, these kids are not sitting there and talking to proper people or finding the information out of themselves. Like, hell, we have the Google, use it. Like, you know, people asking, well, how do you sleep with all these people and don't catch something? Or how do you, you know, promote so well? Or how do you get these people to do this stuff for you? People are fucking all the time for free. Some people are just choosing not to do so and putting it on film. There you go. That's a solved problem. Done. Next.
I think, I'm sorry, I forget the question. I thought I listened to him rant for 5 minutes.
It wasn't 5 minutes, it was like 15 minutes.
What's the question?
The question was, what do you think of people's preconceived notions about porn and being a model?
Last little ditty with somebody on Instagram. I posted a picture and he was like, oh, I thought it was just a horny old man and a camera in the room with you guys. I was like, oh no. Well, there's at least 8 people in the room while you're talking. I was like, you got your cameraman, you got your sound, you have the sound man, you have the gaffer, you have the
Fluffer.
PAs. There's no fluffers on set anymore.
Maybe there should be.
Well, I had a fluffer on my last one.
We know.
And the director. I assume the director's there as well.
I'll be,
The director's there as well
the director.
in the film scene.
We usually when we say hi to her because she talks too much.
So she I love you, but she did. This one, not come for her.
The others be like, listen. No, I didn't say that she wasn't.
I know, but you ain't gonna do it.
So try and make someone uncomfortable.
You are. I think.
You realize that I'm going to have to ask Shishi some reverse questions like this too, you know. Just so you know.
Yeah, your circus car. Yeah.
That's right. You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to get said.
But I love it. It's so energetic. It's energetic. I love it when she's there. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
So tell me about your first scene in porn. Who was your partner and how was it?
Singapore?
Yeah.
My first scene in Singapore was I don't know how people call me a coon. I really don't. My first Singapore scene as Max Brown was with the beautiful, sexy Tabor Doug, and it was for Burrito Bra. It was amazing. I've always wanted to fuck him. And he actually was retired. And Q messaged him and said, "This Max Conner guy wants to film with you." He was like, "Oh, I'll come back for him."
Oh,
And so I brought him.
you brought him out of retirement, huh?
Uh-huh. It was a good shoot. That's still one of my favorites. My all-time favorite now is my Taco Bell scene that just came out.
With
But my
Taylor?
second favorite would be that scene.
That was a hot scene, by the way. I'm
It
still
was
recovering.
cute.
I'm still recovering.
From Miss Taylor Ray.
Yes. So Avatar, you just released your first video.
Oh my God! Yes, I need to get like other people call me.
Cool, you.
Uh,
So how was it?
But it was very. I went in with great knowledge because, of course, I've been on sets before, but I've never been the one in it. So, of course, it's completely different when you first being in it and then being there. So this one actually helped me out a lot to calm my nerves. I was extremely nervous, but of course, I had my first shoot with Wesley Woods, who is awesome. Hi, Wesley. And he was very chill. The chemistry was absolutely amazing. Chichi was, brilliant in her directorial skills, and the camera crew was very welcoming because there was a few times I was like, yeah, I'm nervous. They saw it in my face, and I'm like, just woosah, calm down, chill out. And it went really, really, really well. So I'm actually very excited to do another and definitely get into it because now that I know the groove of what's to be expected or being put up there with, Noir Mail and what they expect. So working with other studios, I have put myself at a high bar to make sure I'm performing properly. So definitely, all these kids, hide your kids, hide your wives because the penis is coming.
So,
Such a hate.
what?
He's smoking his lips over here.
Oh, you guys are fine. You're like bookends. You're humorous bookends. Exactly. I rest my case. So, what would you say is the most interesting thing about, let's say about each other? Let's cross this one because I normally ask about yourself, but I want you to talk about each other. What's the most interesting thing about Avatar, Max?
The most interesting thing about Avatar, I was saying, what did I want to say about? You can't.
If he doesn't know, that's from the movie Us. So you need to go see that. But yes, that's my favorite. So please tell me you something else.
I see.
Interesting thing about Avatar. Avatar is kind of like a mommy spirit who will tell you how to correct your life even when you haven't asked him to correct your life, or if you need his advice on how to correct your life. But he is a mommy spirit type. I would say daddy, but he's a full-grown woman. So I would say he has this mommy spirit.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Avatar?
cute.
What about Max?
Nurturing,
Oh,
nurturing spirit.
Nurturing.
that fits. That fits.
That fits me. I could say that. Okay. Took him forever to figure that out, but anyway. So, about Daddy Corner.
What's my name?
Daddy Corner.
Say the first one.
Daddy. Daddy. Anyway, he to me is the kind of like the Beyonce of black porn. I'm gonna get probably hacked for this or shanked. But like he works really hard. You know, he goes above and beyond what is expected or what is deemed necessary. You know, he's always looking for the next thing. And it's not for himself or to make himself seem more grand or more better than anyone else. He does it for the fans. He's like, what do you think my fans will think of this if I were to do this? What will my fans think if I were to do that? It's not about him. It's about his fans and his community of what would please them, which I believe a lot of people don't do too much. They think solely on themselves or what's to make themselves better. But he's doing things to think of, okay, let me work with this person to, you know, please a little bit more of my fans because my fans want to see that. It's all about the fans. And that's what I think is very caring and understanding of what he does for, you know, for his brand, for his people.
Nice.
People.
And?
It's good.
It's
Very
good.
good.
Yeah. So, okay, what trait do you like the most about yourself?
I don't love myself at all.
You don't?
I am
Or
a
you-
poor rich, you know.
You need to see us when we're more intoxicated. I need more alcohol.
I have.
Oh, that's right. You did.
All this voice from home.
Yeah, pretty much. We have some
Um,
absolutely more words.
I like the fact that I could be a chameleon. I've always been able to shape shift into whatever the situation calls for me to do. If I fall, I never stay down for too long because I shift right into the next thing. I've had so many careers and so many jobs in my life. It would take forever for me to go through the list. And it's because I can easily pop from one thing to the next, from one thing to the next. And I really appreciate that because not a lot of people can do that. Some people get knocked down and can't necessarily pick themselves back up because they don't know what happens next. But I've always been the type of person that's just like, okay, well, that didn't work. I'm going to go be a doctor. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to go be a, you know, I want to be one of those people that's experienced a lot of different things in their life. Instead of doing the same thing every day for 60, 70 years. I want to die empty, if that makes sense.
It does.
Wants to be drained.
I want to be drained.
What about you, Avatar? What's your favorite quality about yourself?
I can see through people. I have this very uncanny ability to see past of what people think that they want compared to what people need.
I know them.
Oh, trust me, I'm psychic, bitch. Call me Raven. I usually I can see past certain things of what people assumed they would want, and then when you mention something, they're like, you know what? Oh, that's right. That does work a little bit better for me. That's a good quality trait that I usually tend to do, and then whatever needs to be done, I just take care of it. You know, I always try to better others, you know, any way that I possibly can. I was always told I shouldn't stop giving compliments so much to people and stuff like that. I'm like, why? Why would I not want to help you make someone feel better about themselves? You know, if you have nice shoes on today, you have nice shoes on today. If your hair is cute today, you know, your hair is cute today. If you're, you know, being ratchet and disgusting, you're ratchet and disgusting. But what can you do? Sometimes you guys, I like to keep it real.
He looks very
So-
pretty in pink. Same.
Tell it very 100. That's me. I don't like to cut the bullshit. I don't beat around the bush, as Yeah, is it beating around the bush? That's what it is.
His,
Oh, I'm sorry, Super's being ratchet.
his S and D are moving.
Yes, it is. So sorry.
His
Yeah,
S and his D are moving.
I don't take no shit. I don't take any flack from wankers or tossers or whatever. All these mental people. Yes.
Wankers and tossers.
Wankers and tossers and
Wankers and bitches and
Kittens.
almost
Okay.
taking those penises up their assholes. Okay.
These are a few of your favorite things.
Amen.
So, if you guys were to have an autobiography written, what would you call it?
Little blue card.
Damn, bitch. Were you ready?
I have thought about this for half of my life. All because there was a very large period in New York after I graduated college where I was basically just shifting from one place to the other. And there were times where I would move all the way from Washington Heights down to the depths of fucking Brooklyn with this little blue laundry cart. I call it granny cart. And so I've always wanted to write autobiography of where I came from to where I am now. And it's called Little Blue Card.
Interesting. I have mine.
What's yours?
The Brit.
The Brit.
The Brit. B-R-I-T, darling.
That's my second thing.
It sounds like you sound the bread or the breath. Enunciate your words.
I'm sorry, I have an accent.
What accent do you have?
I'm
He's
sorry.
from Georgia.
He's the only person that can have an accent.
Me, Drew Dixon. Who else has a deep accent? Oh, Victor Rum. Yes.
I have a deep accent.
Everybody has an accent from wherever they're from. So,
Usually when I do stuff like this, I try to talk in American Standard because I'm trained to do that. But I am very southern.
that was
Thank you very much.
his training. And
American Standard. You know
Yes.
what that is? Can you speak American Standard?
No, I cannot speak American, sorry.
that's when the wanker comes out. You know this.
Thank
Always.
you.
Hey, I'm learning the cues. So, any advice that you would give to someone who wants to get into the business?
Do research before you get into the business. Be very careful who you associate yourself with. Be very careful of what your first job is. Your first job will forever tell people who you are in this industry. Be polite to everyone. There's a saying that we have in the mainstream entertainment industry that I think that really applies to porn as well, and that is always treat everyone as if they are your boss, because you never know that person that you mistreat will be fucking you or handing you lube or handing you condoms because they can fuck you up. So be nice to everyone. And being genuinely nice really pays off in the end because nobody wants to be a fan or follow an asshole. And if you're black, there's two lists. If you're black, be prepared to work extremely hard. Don't expect for everything to come to you. Know and understand that everybody is not a racist. Everybody is not out to fetishize you, but be smart enough to know the difference.
Anything you want to add?
Wash your dick. Get a job. Step your pussy game up. That's all I got to say. I'm done.
Wash that foreskin.
Wash the dick. Done.
Get all of what the old folks used to call
Oh, wait, you know
thrust
what?
and that
From around on this platform, I'm going to do it. Go you insert.
Does this pertain to any of the questions that have been asked?
Yes, she said the people who want to start into porn, like that.
Oh,
hygiene is
okay, go
important.
ahead. Go ahead.
Hygiene is important. You know, make sure that you're clean. You know, make sure that the tank is washed.
Yes, God.
You know, the hose pipe is, you know, fairly shined and clean. You know, the undergarment area, take a bath before you go on to the set.
Please.
You know, brush your teeth, floss.
There's only one model I've been walking away from the shoot from and said, I will never, ever work with this person again.
That's right.
And it was him, man.
You will. But yes, just make sure, like you said, make sure you're very kind, make sure you're very sweet. You know, do the work. Like you said, don't expect people to, don't expect things to come to you. You know, you ask questions. You know, be courteous and kind to your peers. You know, even to your fans as well. Like people feel when your fans send you random ass and dick pictures. You don't have to not respond. You can just be like, "Thank you, I appreciate you," and that is it. You don't if you're not, you know, physically attracted to them in that standpoint, don't disown that person because they are attracted to you. You are in a fantasy business. Just do not shut someone down or belittle someone else because you feel, oh, I would never possibly fuck you in my personal life. That does not mean for you to be completely disrespectful or total fucking not. Like, be courteous to your fans. I say hello and hi to all of them all the time. And the minute I get the dick and ass pictures, I'm like, that's nice, thank you. You know, go check out my new video. You know, go pass by Max Connor, go give him a vote. You know, for best international top for, you know, the Prolo Awards. You know, do all that kind of stuff. Promote.
Awesome.
By the way, if you're watching, you can go vote for me, Max Connor, for Best International Porn Star for Prolo Awards.
Yay! So excited. We hadn't gotten to that part, but I'm glad you interjected that. That's awesome. So,
Yes.
what do you want to be remembered for?
All right, y'all ready?
Yes.
Good dick.
Good love, good penis.
Good love and good dick. That's it. That's
Good
it. That's what it's all about.
Good dick.
Love and dick. Love and good
We
dick.
need to turn this into a hashtag. Good love and good dick.
That's all you have to do. Oh, and for me, I'm sorry, I got to interject. And a cute cocktail, because, you know,
I
she
see.
drinks.
So you're a cocktail destroyer.
Oh, that's just the Supreme always has a cocktail. You know, that always has a cocktail. That's me.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
You know what time it is?
You know who we are.
Hey, we're going popcorn for cocktail.
Sophie and Mothermore. I know they're going to be watching. Those are my girls. Love you.
So what is one thing you would love to tell your fans before we finish up?
I love y'all.
Start liking my shit.
Start liking your shit.
Retweet.
Retweet.
You know, subscribe. Tell your friends.
Tell your
Tell your
friends.
boyfriend. Tell your girlfriends.
I saved the quote earlier today.
You know.
Exactly for this moment.
Fuck the kids. You know, like I said, suck a dick. Get a job. Step your pussy game up. That's what I'm talking about. And I love you.
Here's my quote.
Okay.
Girl, you will not stop it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
When you're confident in what you bring to the table, you don't have to chase and beg anyone to sit down and eat.
Nice.
What the fuck was that?
I like it. I think that's
I
awesome.
like it.
It's so common.
I like it. You need to
I'm
post
gonna
it.
ask my fans for what it is. What y'all want to see? Talk to me. Call me. I know, I sound like I'm from Jersey.
You kind of do. It's like a Jersey Manchester.
Oh my God, it is Manchester. You. Shout out to all the people from Manchester. I love you.
Throw a little Joyzy in there. Throw it in Joyzy.
All them gonna get it. Because I like those are my people.
So, okay, now that you want them to follow you and tweet you and all that, where would they find you in order to do these things?
Akaya, AKYIA, XXX. That is my Twitter handle. That's the only thing that I have. Or just for fans, Avatar Akaya XXX.
Okay.
You know, Kissy features, Max Connor as, my guest appearance sometimes, Drew Dixon,
He records me without telling me.
I do. I pull some, I hide the camera.
I would never agree to do
That's
that.
that's what friends are for, honey. That's what friends do. It's just a
So where
thing.
they can find you, Mr. Max?
Yeah.
They can find me on Twitter at Max Connor XXX. They can also find me on the OnlyFans at XL Top 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they can find me at Just for Fans at Max Connor XXXX. Now, if you like a little Snapchat, you can go to Snapchat. You can find me at Max Connor XX. And if you have an Instagram, you can find me at Max Connor XX.
All the penis.
Apparently, he's got the quadruple.
You can find me at Daddy Max Star.
And that is him. He is not a fake. If all you see is titties and ass, that's him. All right, thank you.
That's awesome.
Don't get that little silhouette on the side to see you.
So, up to the voting for you. You're up for International Star of the Year, you said?
Mm-hmm.
For Prowler.
And then you were also up for on the Grabbies for Entertainer of the Year?
That's tough.
Best
Top?
Best duo,
Body.
best body,
Biggest dick.
best dick, performer of the year, Just for Fans, performer.
The New Just for Fans Awards.
Those are going to be great. Those are new, and I think that's going to be fabulous. So
Everybody
needs to vote, in other words. So
Yeah.
we'll get to
I need
that
to
out.
make some comments so I can get awarded and nominated and stuff like
Yes.
that. Shit.
Your year is coming.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Your
patience.
time will come.
But
Your
his
year
last
will
one,
come.
His last should be first.
Yes.
So let him have his time. Now.
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me on the show very much and for helping me launch this new adventure and everything. Thank you for participating in that with me. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely.
So, I love you both.
Right. And my final words, make sure you do, what is it again?
Huh?
Good love and good dick. Yeah.
All important things.
Very important.